Hello and welcome to today's reading. I was being called to do, I pulled this out, it's a little crochet angel. It's called to do a reading of like what your angels want you to know right now. And it was that feeling of if you have like just sort of like an uncertain area in your life or just a stuck area or just the drifting kind of feeling was there. It was like, okay, just something from the angels, from the spirit guides, however you see that. And just to hopefully keep this one kind of short for a pick a card. And for the piles, all I pulled was these. So you can pick from which card you're most called to. Or if you're called to more than one, you can look at more than one. Pile 1, which is actually card 1. And then we're going to create the pile with the tarot and with some oracle decks. We'll get into that. For pile number 140, co-create. We should just say group 1, really. And group 2, we'll go with that, is, let me get this in focus for you. 45, time to go. And I'm going to hold this up for another moment so you can just really get a look at just how I'm being told to point out, where she's heading. There's the walkway, the path, even though it's not totally clear. And for, we'll say group number 3, we have 25, round and round. Okay, so those are your options of 1, 2, and 3, and I will see you in whichever group you pick, or whichever groups, because there may be more than one message for you. Hello, group 1. I'm being called first to pull out a couple of cards from the Cozy Witch Tarot. I feel very conversational. Like I want to ask how you're doing, what's your day like, and leave something in the comments. Let us know how it is. Like there's a very relaxed feel in your group. Like it's just this settling, like it not settling for less or something like that. But I'm being told, look at the. Oh, it says you can't be right all of the time. I don't know why that was at the bottom of the deck. And I think this may be more on what I'm feeling is more of like, this is just an energy that you're just like, I can see the people walking away and it's sort of like, I'm kind of out of this energy. Or maybe you've been in this environment and it's just sort of like, I'm just kind of done with that. Just done with that. Gonna go have my nice comfortable space and enjoy. We have the Emperor. Well, the World, I think we'll put these in this order. The World card came out and I just was told the world is really yours to enjoy. Just to embrace, to enjoy, relax. Let's see what else is there. And I mean, the card itself says, yay, you did it. Now do something to celebrate a job well done. And you did choose like the co-create card. So it sounds like you've been in either some team projects. You may have been in one that was like a difficult team project or group project or kind of a relationship thingy where you were working with other people to do things. That's for some of you. And you've gotten that accomplished and you can like get out of the stress, or at least I'm being told for the messages for some of you, the stress of this group project or commitment that you've made to do something for a group of people it's, it's relax and treat yourself when this is done, and it will pass. We have the Emperor card come out. I'm being told something about the time. Time management, I just heard. And it's, you need to make sure you're taking time for yourself to sit and just enjoy. It's right next to this World card where it's saying, enjoy, celebrate. And there is a time, I'm being told that, to celebrate yourself. And if that just means like getting comfy in your PJs on the couch and watching a movie, that's, good. It could be any number of things. I'm hearing also like, choosing better foods to eat. And for some of you, you may be switching diets so that you can find healthier alternatives that are just as delicious. Believe it or not, I'm being told there's like healthy alternatives that are just as delicious. That's for some of you. And being the authority of your own life comes with a lot of responsibility. And yeah, that comes into the, like, there's something about time management and stuff. And for those of you that, where you're working on a group project, you may be in charge of running something, even if it's just you're running the household right now, or I heard even college with school and studies and things, it gets stressful. So there's some important message about being able to just, and I'm being drawn back to the co-create where it's saying, there needs to be spiritual reboot time. I don't know why that came through that way, but yeah, like a spiritual reboot time. And it doesn't mean you have to go on a retreat or something. It's cool if you can do that, but putting into your schedule some reboot time for yourself. Okay, and with that, we're gonna take a look at this card because I think that ties in with the message that just came through with this Ace of Wands, where it says, don't you see how your passion makes you glow? So for some of you, you might want to hit the craft room, like some of us have craft rooms and hoard craft supplies. But what you're passionate about is just just heard, like, while you're doing these projects, if you're and whatever it is that is time consuming for you right now, let's just say that, is to, while you're in the process of that, remember what makes you passionate about this thing and why. Look to remember what it is you love about what you're working on, and that'll reduce the stress load that the project has. And I'm also, again, being drawn back to, you can bring your spiritual element with you into even the most mundane, or I don't know what the word is. I can't find the word. The most mundane. How am I supposed to say that? This is like, I'm tripping on words here. This can be your spirituality. Okay, that's because, like, okay, too many messages at one time coming in. Y'all have, like, lots of spirit guides and angels. You do. Okay, okay, one at a time, please, because I can't say both things at the same time. So one at a time here. Okay, for some of you, this card is inviting you to go to that spiritual place, to find that alone time. Okay, that's for some of you. I've, like, got multiples coming in, so I'm trying to, like, be like, wait and try and listen to one and then pass that message along. So it's almost like static on the radio. You get part of what's on, like, one station and then part of what's on the other station, and it's really hard to figure out what's on either one of the stations because you just get bits and pieces of both, and that's what's going on right now. So I'm trying to focus down on okay, some of you do need a reboot, and that's the co-create time is a reboot, and to reach in and remember your passions and to figure out that way to kind of bring that spunk is the word I just heard, just a little bit of spunk to what you're doing in life throughout the day. Just a little bit of something like that. And then I'm just being told, for a lot of you, just the visual of this card is going to guide you. Like the message is just like, I'm going to cover the words and just show you the picture. Because I'm being told for some of you, this is just something that's going to go directly into your soul. And you may not even hear the words for it or know what the thoughts are, but you might just feel it inside your being by looking at that. Okay? Excuse me. And then we have the Sun card. Give yourself permission to express joy. So, okay, group 1, I really feel like a lot of you are tight scheduled, overbooked, and definitely this is just a reminder, you've got to bring that joy into the space, and it's okay to do that. Like self-care is what we have to do so that we can take care of other people and other things. And I keep having these momentary blanks. It's really interesting, and it just was 12:12 on my on the timer for this reading. There's blanks, and 12:12 is a number that maybe some of you will resonate with or can look into and see if that does something for you. What is it that I'm going to ask? Like, what is that? Oh, some of you just need to take time in silence. Like, turn off the computer, turn off everything, put the phone on Do Not Disturb. And it could just be 5 minutes, but you need silent breaks. There's just, for some of you, there's just too much noise. Okay, so we got that through. So there's a jumble of messages, and a lot of you, I feel like you're working with like kids, group activities, projects at work, assignments at school. It's just, wow, you got a lot that's going on, and I'm trying to see where do we want to go from here, because I'll pull out my hand just went to the angel therapy deck, so we'll just we'll just take a look at those. I kind of like leave off the bottom, but the workshops and seminars, it's an attending and giving speeches is part of your spiritual. Be open to teaching and learning. I'm just reading. A lot of you are teachers. A lot of you are students. If that doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't mean this isn't your message. But this workshop and seminars right away came out to, maybe some of you are actually looking at these videos on YouTube, the readings on YouTube. Just that's your kind of spiritual break. And I'm being told some of you don't just look at don't just watch the videos, but take some time with the gadgets off, the TV off, the laptop off, the phone off, and sit with yourself. And I mean, like, you don't even have to use the cards or anything. Just sit in a space and just breathe and say, I'm going to let my guides in to fill my heart. So that's a message for some of you, that if the readings that you watch are your break, That's great. I mean, there's always, there's so many wonderful videos out there on YouTube from tarot readers, and there's so many gifted people. But sometimes you just have to listen to to your own guides yourself to get a message. And that's important to pass along to you, that you do take that quiet time where it is just you and spirit, and not, someone like me interpreting cards for you, but you sitting with spirit alone. Okay. And the be willing to be forgive, immediately when I saw those words, was do not feel guilty for taking time for yourself. There's no guilt in self-care. There just isn't. The time, and the impression I'm getting is that you're probably not gonna like chunk out that much time for yourself anyway, so really no need to be feeling guilty, because some of you are just gonna be squeezing in like, this is my 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. So a lot of you just don't even have that much time that you're gonna put aside. But there's no, I mean, that's the message of the card is that. I'll let you see the picture. And then at the bottom it says, ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. And I think that is a good part of the message there. And we were just talking about that. We were saying, just sit alone. The readings, that's great. They can kind of give you some guidance, but you have your inner guidance too. You have your own guides. There's a compass within your soul, within your heart, within your spirit. And, sitting alone with that without any other human interruption or digital device interruption would be very good for you at this time, to make sure that there's a moment in your day, even if it's, just you usually check your phone first thing in the morning, I'm being told. Wait 15 minutes or something. Just some of you need to not, like, just not look at the phone for like 15 minutes after you wake up. Start making a space in, just put a notebook next to your bed and write down a couple of notes, a couple of sentences, a wish for the day, I'm being told. And do that before you like go on your phone and start scrolling and checking email and that stuff, okay? So I picked this deck up. We'll see if there's a message from this deck that should come out. And this, I'll show you the card, even though I don't quite know how this ties in for you. I don't always communicate well with this particular deck for some reason, so it's take divinely guided chance. And I'll read what it has on here, and bring your own intuition into it. If this doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you, make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. And I think that's a really long-winded way of saying, oh, okay, what I just heard was some of you are in this hectic phase because you're moving house, because you're changing careers, because the new baby's arriving or something like that. Some of you are in that flux and then in that change. For those of you in this group that are in that transition phase, it is definitely, what we just talked about sitting alone with your own guides in a peaceful moment alone is very important to be doing. So we'll put that there. And I feel like I just want to pull something from the Shaman's Oracle just to see, is there anything for group 1? I mean, they've pretty much got, is there something they should be, something that would be helpful when they go into the meditation or just have some time alone? What would be helpful for them to be focusing on? Is there a focus? Okay. Am I asking the right question for this? Let me see. Okay, this wants to come out. Okay, we're just gonna, what we had come out was, there you are. Like, this is the mountain of workload you've got. This is just the mountain of it. But look, you can take that joyous moment where you just stand up there in this bliss. Like, yeah. And be like, no, I'm going to be on top of the world. And it's the lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. So it is, again, for those of you, this is telling me that, you know, there is also some of you, you feel more comfortable trying to tap into your ancestors or those who have passed on. So when you sit and you do your spiritual connecting alone, and ancestral wisdom may be something for you to be guided to. I'm going to leave it at that. I think we kind of like pounded in the same message quite a few times on that one. If you're drawn to another card and you want to take a look at another group, that's fine. There's always possibilities that there's more than one message in a pick a read for you. So with that, I mean, give yourself the grace and freedom to spend some time reconnecting with your guides and with spirit within you. That's all I have for you. I'll see you in another reading. Take care. Hello, group 2. You chose Time to Go from the Wisdom Oracle, number 45. And what I'm really being drawn to point out is that the doorway is there, even if the path in front of you, excuse me, I gotta clear my throat. Even though the path in front of you may not be clear, at least not as the path behind you, there is a path and there is another door in front of you. And I'm also being drawn to point out the stars here as a sign that, you know, your angels, your spirit guides, they have been with you along this whole journey. For some of you, it's been a difficult journey. It's been a long journey. And it's just, I'm being told to point out, they were with you through it. You weren't alone. Even when you did feel alone, you were not alone. And to go into the unknown, they will still be with you. And it may be, this reading may be a calling for you to spend some more time trying to find signs and synchronicities to feel more comfortable along this uncharted path, or the path that isn't very clear in front of you, just so that you can have that reassurance. That's great that there's, you know, I'm doing a reading. If you needed reassurance that, you know, your angels and your spirit guides are with you and they have messages for you, but I'm being told to point out to you, they're always there, and you can look around and you will feel is the word that came out. You will feel them there for some of you, but you will also be able to find the signs and the synchronicities so that you can be reassured just in your daily life as you go about things. And at specific key moments, I'm being told to look for signs also, so that you don't have to feel alone for those of you who do feel alone. For some reason, I'm getting a lot of that feeling like you've had to push through something on your own. You've had to navigate a path, that your journey, some of you are just, you're just single and wondering if love is ever coming in, and yeah, somewhere down the road. I'm not a very good predictor of love, or, you know, when it's going to come. It all depends on each individual's heart and where you are in the hearts. I will point out, I was called to get the Moonology deck out, so we will get to those cards. But first, we're going to do a little bit and see if the Tarot has anything to say. There's a few cards that already want to come out. Okay. Is there anything else? Thank you. Okay. I'm going to point out just this because I saw the van, and it's just, yeah, that sense of traveling alone, I think, is just being acknowledged in this card. It does say live in a state of gratitude, but I think a lot of you already know how to be in the state of gratitude, is what I'm sensing. Is, okay, I had this really, really strong feeling, and this may only be a portion of you. You have been working so hard. For some of you, this is a spiritual journey we're talking about. And some of you have done your meditations, you got your gratitude journal, like, you know how to be grateful for things, but yet you still have a feeling of uncertainty. Like, it just, something hasn't quite clicked yet. And I'm being told to point out, it may take a while before it clicks, but it's going to, if you can see that in the distance. And you're not alone. And I'm being told, you know, the universe appreciates your gratitude, okay? So that's a message for some of you in the group. Let's see what the other cards that came out are. Oh my God, here we go, more traveling. Okay. Oh my goodness, the Six of Swords. There is calmer water. When I do readings, there's a lot of confirmation cards usually that come out, and I think that's just the way I am as a reader. Is I definitely want to make sure I'm presenting the information that's meant to be presented, and not, you know, just pulling something from my own mind that isn't what I'm being guided to say or share. So we do find like a lot of, I was told to leave this card right set up here so that you could see it. I'm sorry, I hit that. For some reason, I was going to, I'm sorry I hid that from you. So for some of you, something was hidden, and it will be revealed. There's something about someone's guide, some guardian angel didn't realize that you couldn't see the sign that you were being given the way they were giving it. And they're just acknowledging right now that they've realized that. And so you may start, for this is very, very few of you, or just one particular person. But there's someone apologizing that they didn't realize that you didn't know those were signs, that they were there. So they may try to give you different signs now. And they're asking you to be looking for them, okay? And I'm being told they'll be experimenting with different ones. This is not for everyone in the group, don't worry. But, you know, whoever's guide is coming through right now is saying they'll be experimenting with different ways to give you signs, and they're sorry that they didn't realize you weren't able to see them the way they were presenting them, okay? That's just a message that needed to come through from someone's guide. This is the Six of Awards. Okay. Somebody might be getting an award. I don't know. If you do, that's great. I don't know where that came from. The Six of Swords, you know, you are going to a calmer and better place. There's still a distance to travel, though. I mean, I hate to say, like, this is, like, of course we all want to be, like, able to do a reading. It's like, hey, everything's going to be great tomorrow. It's all cleared up now. Don't worry anymore. I mean, you know, it'd be great. You can make a fortune selling that kind of stuff, but like, I'm being called to show you this card over here, which is my guidance card for this, for all the groups that I'm reading for, and it's truth be told. So the truth be told for you is, you know, you're on this journey, and I'm being told destinations aren't what matter. It's what you gather on the journey. And the card itself reads, all aboard, which is time to write a new chapter. So a lot of you are trying to start over. You're trying to break free from your past. And I really have a strong feeling that so many of you have done journaling. You have done your, you know, shadow work. You have done the gratitude notebooks, and you've really worked hard. And I think it's important that what's coming through from whatever people's guides are here trying to get messages through, there's a bunch coming through today. It's a nice group. I'm enjoying this reading because these guides are so beautiful and wonderful to hang out with. I lost the thought. There was me putting my thoughts in there, and I lost what the message was. Oh, gosh. I apologize for interjecting my own opinion into this. Guides, what was it? There was something about there are so many gifts you're going to pick up along the way on the journey. The destination isn't the only gift for you. Okay, and then we will backtrack. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, what wanted to come through before I interrupted the guides with my own thoughts is that they're so proud of you for the work that you've done. For a lot of you, it has not been easy. And a lot of you have had to change some beliefs you have held for decades and open your mind to view the world in a different way, to respond to things in a different way, to view yourself in a different light, in a clearer light. And it's still fuzzy for a lot of you. But the message that's coming through is that there's this just immense kudos. Just keep doing it. The angels and the guides are just saying, you know, this hasn't been easy, and you have done an amazing amount of work. Don't stop now. And we're with you, is what I'm hearing. We're not going to leave you alone in this. And we never left you alone in this, is what I heard them just say. Okay. The Magician. And immediately I was like, this is what you're doing. You're learning to, I mean, we use the word manifest and all of that. But there's manifesting ourselves is something I don't even know if I've ever even heard anyone talk about. But for a lot of you right now, what you're doing is you're manifesting your authentic self. And that's being acknowledged in this reading, is all I can tell you. And I don't know why I'll watch a lot of these things and read a lot of books, but I've never heard of manifesting yourself. But that's what I'm being told. Spirit's like, this is your journey of manifesting who you truly are. And it's good work that you're doing, and keep doing it. The message on the card itself is, you have everything you need to do anything you want. So just kind of hold that up. You have everything you need to do anything you want. Quite a nice reassurance there. Eight of Wands. And I'm just seeing this. For some of you, it's like it's finding the soul tribe. It's embracing the fact that there is a community of people who are doing the work that you are doing. this spiritual work that you are doing, you're not alone. There are others out there. And it's light a fire underneath your cauldron and go, go, go. So for some of you, I'm being told, you may be coming across others soon if you haven't already. The messages here in this card for some of you is that there will be people coming into your life who are doing the same kind of work on the spiritual level. So, and there's a full moon up above. And I heard it may take a few moon cycles before, for those of you that are going to have these new people coming in, it may be a few moon cycles before that happens, okay? And the last card, pile number or group number 1 got the same card. And I'm told it's not like you're running out of time. You have plenty of time to do this. You don't have to hurry it. And no, you didn't start it too late. For whoever just said that to themselves, if I had just started sooner, no, you didn't start late, is what I'm being told. You started exactly at the moment you were meant to start this journey. You did not start late. Okay, that's really important for some of you to hear that. And as being the authority of your own life comes with a lot of responsibility. And I immediately heard group number 2 knows you are so responsible and accountable for your actions. And you're taking so much accountability for your emotional reactions, for what you think in your mind, because you know how much power the thoughts in your mind has. I mean, you're doing a lot of work. You really have been doing a lot of work. And wow. No, for that bunch of you that said, if I had only started, no, you started up right exactly on time. You are in the exact right place of your path and your journey that you're supposed to be in right now, okay? I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull from the Moonology and see if there's anything for group number 2 that the angels and guides would like to share with group 2. We'll go ahead and we'll take 3 to 4 cards here. I don't know if that one's supposed to come out. Please guide me to the cards. Okay, thank you. And is there a 4th card for this group? This is a card of something that you might not know is on the way. Okay. I do like to show the bottom of the deck, even if it doesn't seem to me like it applies to the reading, but it may be something that you need to know. And it's luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. And we did say it may be a few moon cycles before those of you who will be meeting new people and having, you know, kind of like spiritual friends come into your life. Sagittarius season may be it. We'll just leave it at that. We'll take these 3 and then I'll leave this card for last because this wanted to kind of hide, so I feel like this is something that may be hidden from your sight. Okay, and then the messages that they're giving is, what do you need to release? Wanting moon. I wanted to say wanting moon. And it's clear as it is. These are just going to be really simple, straightforward messages. What do you need to release? That's going to help you on the journey if you have things that you need to release. It's time to take action. And I'm hearing for those of you who aren't sure about stepping forward and taking the next step because it's not clear in this journey, yes, keep moving forward. Don't sit, don't stop, don't stagnate is what I just heard. Some of you may be tempted to stay where you are in your spiritual growth and journey right now. And this is saying to keep moving forward. Just because it doesn't really come clear that there is more of a path in front of you, there is. And you're being guided to keep going on this journey, okay? And then we all, oh, this is great. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. And like we did, I mean, we had the Six of Swords. I was like, did I read that wrong? It was swords, right? Not cups. It was the Six of Swords. So for a lot of you, you are. And I see you're closing out a chapter. I mean, you're just, and the thing is, you had to write all of it down. For some of you, you just sort of had to, even just if we're talking metaphorically, you had to kind of like write the other chapters of your life and examine them so that you could have this. And now you're faced with these blank pages, is what I'm being told. And that's frightening for some of you, is to have these blank pages in front of you. But there's, we'll go back to here. You are the magician. You have everything you need to do anything you want. So you'll be filling those pages of the coming chapters, not just by yourself, but in connection and in coordination with your guides and with spirit. Okay, and we'll move on. This is the last card this is the one that was tucked in there and almost wanted to hide, and I felt like this was a card you didn't realize was going on, so it would be something about what you don't realize is going on. And it's the energy is gaining momentum. And we just talked. It's time to take action, to keep going. It's going to get easier. Okay, that's the message there. It's been, to keep going at the pace you've been going, it may have been very weighty and very heavy, but to continue at that pace, you're going to start gradually feeling it's easier and easier and easier, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at that. I think y'all are more than capable of filling in any blanks, and I'm being told that if you want a continuation of what you found in this reading, you already know how to do your journaling, you know how to do your meditation, you know how to connect with spirits. Some of you work with the cards. So I was told, like, some of you go ahead and follow up on your own with your guides and your angels and work with them and see what the next things, because everybody's got such a detailed specific that I can't do it in a general reading. So it's kind of like, okay, we got this started, but for some reason I'm being told to tell you, okay, now go ahead and do your work that you've been doing. You know what it is. All right, that's all pile number 2. And I would normally say, if you were called to pile another pile, go there. If you were, go ahead, but also don't remember that apparently your guides just gave you some homework to do, which is to go expand upon this reading on your own in the presence of your own guides and spirit, okay? Take care. Hello, group number 3. All right. You picked the Round and Round number 25 card. And I have to say, I had to sit for a while to try and get to what, pick up on what was supposed to come through in the reading. One of the things I'll say first off, some of you have been going literally round and round and round trying to find an answer. And before I figured out that, because the card is my doorway into what your reading is and what guides and what spirit I'll be, connecting with. And I had pulled out, this is, wow. I pulled out the Crystal Ball Oracle. So you're gonna have a pick a card inside of your pick a card. This is, I don't know if I've never done that. And it's just, but for some reason that was necessary. We'll do that at the end of your reading for group 3. Right now we're gonna, being told this is the guiding card for all of the groups, truth be told. Now, one of the other things that came up was, because I had to meditate for a while to try and get to your reading. For some of you, the first thing that came through was you need to circle back around to the other readings. And I heard for some of you, you feel like you can't hear spirit. That was touched on in group 2, if you want to check that out. I'm not sending you to groups so you'll watch more of the video. If it doesn't resonate, if that doesn't intuitively make sense for you to go do it, then don't do it, okay? Do what feels right for you. And we're going to pull tarot cards. We're going to pull from the Spirit Animal Oracle, and I've got some other decks out. So we're going to figure this one out. We're going to dive in there and get these answers, but it's going to be a dive to get to them. But I also, I got, one of the messages I got besides, like, some of you aren't feeling like you can, hear your spirit guides or see the signs. Like I said, that was mentioned in group 2. For others of you, I got that you were just too busy to pay attention to them. And so you're repeating something because you're not listening to what they're trying to tell you. And that's a little bit of what was, there's a little bit of that theme in pile number 1. So if you feel called to do that, you may want to check out pile number 1, group number 1, card number 1, whatever we want to call that group. Okay. So 1 has a little bit of that. If you feel like you're just hamster wheeling it, just 1 might help you with that. 2, if you don't know, you can't pick up on the signs. And then pile 3, group 3, we're going to dive in because you are your own group. You really are. Those other groups might help clarify some stuff, but you've got your own thing going on, and a lot of you are really in need of being able to get some information that you're just, what I just heard is your mind is desperate for some sort of information. And I was told, but your spirit kind of already knows. So for some of you, it's not just listening to your spirit guides, but for some of you, it's like getting to that silent place inside so you can hear it inside your soul. And I just heard from someone, not one of the guides, but someone I'm reading for. Okay, let me just listen to what's coming through so I can understand who I'm talking, at least one of the people I'm talking with right now. Okay, so what I'm hearing from someone is that I'm doing the inner work, I'm trying to find the guidance, but it's confusing. The information, when I look in spirit, and some of you, when you okay, some of the shadow work is coming in, and that confuses things. Some of the shadow element is still inside that you haven't worked through yet. So for some of you, or at least one person who's going to watch this, because I can hear you and I get the message from you, it's very confusing inside when you ask your own spirit for guidance. When you ask okay, and I was just like, I was about to say, when you ask your higher self. So for some of you, you might need to shift the focus to trying to reach out to your higher self. And that's above, that's kind of looking for what your voice is that comes from above your head, okay? That's kind of at least usually where I find my higher self. And sometimes my higher self just walks around and it's like, you do realize that's like, my higher self is, can get kind of cranky and very just matter of fact, just doesn't even, very blunt and to the point is my higher self sometimes when it decides to walk around and sit next to me and be like, you know, and tell me something. For some of you who have been looking inside, trying to like, you know, because there might be chakras blocked and stuff, your higher self is always there. So that's a message. I'm going to move into the tarot cards. I'm moved to the Light Seers deck for this group. Bear with, I hope you have not clicked off yet, because we are going to dive into this. And I'm like, I get the feeling like a lot of you already clicked off because you don't have the patience. You've been like trying so hard to find this answer. I will see how much of an answer I can give you, or how much, you know, the guides that I can tap into can pass along. Okay, so can we get a little bit so we know anything that we need to know with group 3 here? Okay, so anything we need? Okay, I just was told to look at the bottom of the deck. You have the Ace of Cups. Okay, so, and it does... For some of you, I'm like feeling your heart is in like knotted up with questions. Okay, let me see what cards came out. The first thing I saw when I saw the World card is it's just like it's a spinning again. It's that spinning sensation. So for some of you, yeah, it's just, and of course, I do get a lot of confirmation cards in my readings because I do ask from Spirit to make sure that I am giving what the correct words that I'm supposed to be passing along. So we do get lots of confirmation cards if I'm doing my job right for Spirit and the guides. Okay, so 9 of Swords. So yeah, this is really, really on your mind. Like we just talked about it. And we do have the 8 of Cups. Oh gosh. Okay. Spirit, I don't like giving these kinds of messages. All right, I want you to take a look at the 2 cards. This is not going to apply to every single one of you. And there's 2 ways this is. I don't know if I can hold these. Can I hold them in one hand so I can point? Here, let me just... And what's under there? The Ace of Swords is underneath there. Yes, that's what happened. The Ace of Swords. Some of you, you're trying to find the answers in your mind, okay? The answers are in your heart. And your guides will always speak through to you through your heart. And it was interesting that underneath the Ace of Cups, we had the Ace of Swords. And it's like you just cut that heart away. And look, you walked away from it. So that's that heart. And I mean, I see the fire and the flame in here. So there may be heartbreak and pain in that heart. But you can't just walk away from it. It's what needs to be healed. And a lot of the answers that you need are in the heart. Just leaving the heart behind because it's hurting is not going to solve anything. It just puts you into your head and puts you right here, okay? Into this state of anxiety and worry and just the mind spinning out of control, okay? So it is, I don't like to tell people things that, I mean, we all want to hear good news and be like, hey, it's all going to get better. Some of you in this reading, you do need to go back and you need to, yeah, it's not going to be easy, I know. Okay, I can feel it. And the heart feels confused right now. I understand that, yes. Okay, I'm getting more messages for who I'm reading for than getting messages from who I'm reading for more than I am from Spirit right now, which is interesting. Okay, well, I think, is that correct to say that's, I'm asking my guides to make sure that's, no, that's not. Some of you need to talk to yourself, your inner self, talk to your heart. You need, okay, that's why the Three of Cups is here. You need to talk to people about what's in your heart. Okay, for some of you, whether that's friends, whether that's family, whether that's your partner or your dog or a therapist, it's going to be very hard to stop the spinning and circling and try. And oh, okay, I just heard some of you are trying to figure out why. Why did this happen? I'm not going to be able to give you a why, okay? But your heart is going to have to come to peace with whatever this is. You kind of, I'm really getting, I can feel the tears that some of you have cried. But yeah, it's just, okay, I'm going to move on. So this world card, it's not just around and round, but your world turned upside down in some aspect. For those of you who lost someone or have been recently given information about your own health that was not good or easy to accept, I send you my love. Okay, because I know some of you in this group, this world upside down, it was a big one. This was not a small thing. Okay, I understand that, and I'm not going to minimize that in any way. And hopefully, what I said earlier in the reading, if I made you feel like this issue was being minimized, or if I was in any way making you feel shamed that you weren't dealing with it properly, I give you my apologies right now. You're making me cry. There's no proper way to deal with this. You muddle through it. And you can do it. Okay, so that's, because maybe not for all of you. You got me crying. What is it with group threes that make me cry, okay? I think I'm going to do like a 2-card, pick a card from now on, because group 3, you guys really get to me. And yours was the hardest reading to get into. I can see why. I was probably putting a wall up because I didn't want to cry again. I think yesterday's reading made me cry too. In group 3, I think it was. It was, I don't remember. You guys keep making me cry. Oh, no, not yesterday's. Group 3 was a different issue. One of the groups yesterday I know made me cry. I'm sorry. Bear with me, and I feel like I'm reading the same way, some of you are getting through things. It's like, okay, I'm here, I'm crying, and then I gotta go over here and I gotta do this, and then like, when does this stop? When can I just walk away from this pain? And it's like, no, you've got to walk into the pain and through the pain. And for some of you, yes, this is going to be, I'm just being told there are support groups for some, like if this is a grief thing, find a grief. If it's, some sort of a health diagnosis that's difficult to deal with, there's usually a lot of groups out there for various health group, diagnoses where you can gain strength from others. So for some of you, finding support groups, like actual support groups, like a grief support group, or if it's a breast cancer support group or something like that, or a parent, I'm being told, a parent being diagnosed with Alzheimer's, there are support groups for caretakers too. And I think it's important to acknowledge some of you are caretakers. Okay. Some of you are caretakers, not only of parents, but married couples. One of you is taking care of the other. Such, such a difficult thing to go through. Yes. There are support groups for a variety of these things. I think we might not be able to get necessarily answers to things, but ways for you to find comfort. And I think that's maybe the shift that your mind might need to make right now, is stop mentally asking for answers and start using your heart to look for comfort. Okay? And I'm just looking at the Nine of Pentacles here. Things are going to grow and get better. Good things will grow after this. There's a period of time when we go through a major hurt that we do not realize the seeds of future happiness are in the soil. And they haven't sprouted yet. We can't see them yet, but they are in the earth. The seeds of our future happiness are there. No matter what pain we're going through and how endless it seems like it is, you know, just always keep in mind that your future happiness, the seeds are in the ground and they will grow. And you are going to see that happiness at some point, okay? Okay. I'm just going to pause this. I got to blow my nose, wipe my eyes, and I'll be right back with you. Hold on. Okay, so I think that's a pretty big summary of things. I pulled this deck out real quick. I just want to grab, you know, is there a message here that can help? And we have Dolphin. This and that are true. And I'm just being told you can have sorrow and joy at the same time. Okay? Just being able to find ways to bring in joy even when you feel hurt and sorrow in your heart. You can also at the same time experience that happiness too. So allow some of that happiness to start coming in. Is there anything else that can help right now with group 3? Okay. You see clearly now. If you don't, then you will. And I feel like that's just a confirmation. There's 43 and a 4 and a 3 there. But that getting out of your mind of questioning and wanting a answer in like a logical sense and going into the heart and figuring out where comfort can be found. I think that pretty much is the main message that I was trying to get through to whoever needs to see this reading. And I'm going to, you know, when we're talking about comfort for the heart and support groups and stuff, I do, like, while I was like talking just before I paused this, I had a notification come up. Apparently my therapist just sent me a text. So some of you, I'm just going to say, because that came through, I'm a big supporter of therapy. I think it's great. We all have issues, especially if there's trauma in our past. You know, whether it's a support group or a therapist, never be ashamed to go and find support when you need it. I'm being told one more card from this deck. And it's Hawk Spirit. Let spirit be your guide. And it's just, you know, you're here to listen to what spirit has to say, but, you know, you have open communication. I almost feel like it's wrong to do the pick a card, but I said we would, so we're going to do it. And I'm being told to take one from this deck here. Spirit, there's one card from this deck that you want the group 3 to have. I know, I promised you a pick a card at the end of the pick a card. I will come through with my promise, just because. Hand fasting, and I'll read this to you. The poles I can't stumble over words here. The poles pulse through all that I am. No hidden form is left untouched. I am willing. I am risking. And I learned for unity spilled lustrous upon my lips. This isn't really a love reading. Yeah, like, spirit and comfort from others will pull you through this. And part of why you're not going to get any mentally logical answers for your head and your mind is because there's just some things that are untouchable. It's just like no hidden form is left untouched. I mean, like, the thing is, like, untouchable isn't the word, but it's an invisible form. You can't just throw this in the garbage and stick it out on trash day, okay? I don't really know how to clarify that any further. It's just, you have to deal with things sometimes that have no physical form, and that's the emotional part. That's the emotional part of things. I'm going to clear these aside so we can do your... I feel like this is like totally the wrong thing to do after, we just got a reading that said don't use, mental answers or whatever. And I would recommend not asking for, like, if this is a health condition, is it going to get better? Like, I don't answer medical questions, by the way. But I'm being guided to say this, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to say that. They'll know what question to ask, but ask it from your heart, I'm being told. Your heart has the question, okay? So we're going to answer the question that we're going to give guidance. It's not going to be the definitive answer, but we're going to give guidance. Group number 3, what is the first guidance? If you're called to more than one, that's totally okay. These do have a yes and a no in them somewhere, but most of the cards are not. I'm being told to do this. Okay, so to give you something, we're just going to go through this. Ask with your heart, okay? Ask what your heart wants to ask, not what your mind that's been going round and round and round. And I just was told, like, for some of you, the question is it okay for my mind to stop spinning circles? Like, if we get a no on that one, then that was not the question to be asked. And I can't, I'm just going to hold up whichever gemstone you feel more called to. This may actually be a rock from my garden, by the way. And yet I know it is a gemstone, but I'm like, it's too shiny to be a rock from my garden. This is the tiger's eye, okay? And something beautifully blue. Okay, so I'll give you a minute. I'm going to set these aside. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whatever you're drawn to. And I kind of feel like this is silly. I kind of feel like maybe some of you just want to make this a silly game, okay? Some of you ask from the heart. I have no idea what these cards are going to say. I'm laughing at doing this crystal ball thing. And in a way, I think this is part of your message. Like, you can't look into a crystal ball and find out how on earth this is all going to work out and how you're going to heal and get past this and through this. Okay, there's no crystal ball for it. It's part of your soul's journey. It's just part of life's journey. Just know that you're not alone, not in spirit, you're not alone, and you don't have to be alone in terms of with other people, okay? So this is kind of like almost at this point a silly thing, but some of you may get a serious answer. So we'll go through this and I'll just reveal each one and then we'll we'll be done with the reading, but I do definitely send you my love. Okay, so if you picked little shiny, no, oh gosh. Well, I hope that was the answer you were looking for. If not, remember this. If this does not settle well with you, don't worry. You can say it was a fun thing that a crystal ball can't answer. But for some of you, like, these are the clues. We don't really have answers here. We have clues. I kind of feel like the cards can give us clues, but never a definitive answer. And it says this is a sign. If you pick that. I'm just going to cover up that scary looking guy. I just feel like, this is what it's like inside your, the mind. Like, it's just, no, stop doing that inside your mind. Get into your heart space. Okay, so if you picked... We did talk about you need to be able to hold space for both, the pain and the happiness in your heart. So we'll have a little playfulness with this, okay? I know some of you are asking serious questions, but I need to be playful for the rest of the people watching this. The tiger's eye, okay? Let's see what was under there. Not the right time. I'm just going to hold it up without the message. It's kind of like a little bit of a broken clock, but look at the adorable mushrooms growing out of it. And there's something about the moon phases in that. Okay, so card number 4, the really pretty blue. Let go. There you go. I'll try to put this so you can see it. And that let go, I think, I think that might actually be the one really serious answer I see here. Okay, pile number 3, group number 3. I know this like weird little, like I said, I can give clues in my readings. I don't necessarily believe that I can give you definitive answers, especially in a general reading like this for like so many different people. But, I don't know what else to say. I felt how much pain is in the heart. I understand completely why you don't want to face it. But the only way to get rid of the pain is to face the pain. And there's always ways to find support, both in spirit and in real life, real person, in real life, in person, or actually like virtually. I'm being told, like, if some of you want to do the virtual therapy thing, that's okay too. There are, if you can't find support groups in your area, I'm being like so practical, or like, there are support groups online. If you can use Zoom, then you can, get connected with other people who might be going through what you're going through, so that you have, not just in a spiritual journey or watching tarot readings, but that you actually have like a support network, because there is a lot of pain that I could feel in the heart, and that's going to need, more than YouTube videos, definitely. So I wish you the best, and I send you my love. Take care.